Hey there, all my shrimpy friends. What's going on? Wow, check out that shrimp. Beautiful. What a way to start it off. Well, this year was a year of learning. I learned so many different things. I learned about patience, and really that's a critical factor in shrimp keeping is the patience it takes to really develop a colony. I learned about different types of shrimp foods and how it affects the shell thickness, maybe the color, the breeding, water changes. That was another big one for me to really get a handle on and get more consistent with my water changes so that way it didn't stress my shrimp out. Of course, I learned about active soils, mainly different sizes, different types, and what I liked or didn't like about them. And I've pretty much stuck with stratum, which goes on to my filtration, which now everybody knows I'm using sponge filter boxes. And despite all the benefits of the various different types of filtration, this one has become my favorite method is using the sponge filter boxes. Of course, I learned about mosses too, and just how to propagate and really get them growing really healthy and looking nice in my tank without a bunch of algae. Learned about reproduction and breeding and just different things that I can do in my aquarium and what the shrimp seem to like the best. But what's the most important thing that I learned? That's a tough one because I did learn a lot all this year, but there's one critical factor that I've left out purposely so that I can talk about what I think is the most important factor. It could be the perfect tank setup, but as you've seen in some of my videos, I've tried various methods and really they seem to be successful no matter which tank setup I have. Is it the right kind of shrimp? Whether it's going to be PRLs or red pintos or galaxy pintos. Is it neocaridina versus caridinas? It could be all of these things could be the most important thing. But honestly, the most important thing that I learned this year, I learned to have fun. That's the main thing about That's the most important thing about shrimp keeping is to have fun. You can go on the internet and do the research and see all the different things that people suggest of what's to do, what's the best setup, what's the best filtration, what's the best soil, what's the best foods, what's the best bacterias and supplements to add, what's the best GH and salts, what's the best plants, what's the best lighting. It can get confusing. And really, it does get overwhelming if you take it so seriously. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't have gotten the results like this with the green Neos that I'm starting to see and having fun separating those out. The yellow shrimp that I have, they came from the black galaxies. I started with only about a couple of dozen of the crystal red shrimp, and now you see I have hundreds. Same thing with this black pintos. I only started with 3 of those, and they were pretty much solid body with a little bit of speckles, and they turned into this beautiful batch of shrimp. If you've spent any time at all shrimp keeping, you know that it's all about just keeping it shrimple and using your experience from all the various different sources that you may be utilizing to do your research and finding what works best for you. So have a good one. I hope everybody had a wonderful 2024. Thanks for sticking around. I love shrimp. We'll see you next year.